Awesome. Well, hey, Cured partners, we are really excited to be going through our newest product formulation and answering all the questions that we received and just deep diving so you guys feel like you have all of the knowledge to be able to go out and talk about our new product. So I just want to do a really quick introduction to Taylor and Joe. And so I will let Joe take it away first.
All right. Thanks, Hannah. Tio and Hannah have the Christmas background. I don't have the Christmas background, so I didn't get the memo. I'm Joe Sheehy. I'm CEO and co-founder with Taylor, and have been on this mission. We've been on this mission for about 7 years now, so we're excited to share this new product with you all. I'll pass it to Tio.
I'm Taylor O'Donnell, also known as Tio. Founded the company with Joe 7 years ago and am the COO. And I've been working on this for all of the R&D, all the market research, everything to get this scaled to manufacture with our suppliers. And yeah, excited to launch this for you guys.
It's been a couple years in the making, Tio, right? I mean, really, we haven't launched a new product in over 2 years, but we've been talking about this for a while and working on the formulation for a while.
Yeah, we've definitely been working on it for a while. We've done a ton of trials to make sure that we've gotten it to the point where we think it's perfect. So yeah, we're really excited to share it with you guys and get it in your hands and have everybody be able to try it and see the magic that is Flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll jump into some questions. So Joe, why did we choose to launch this product?
Yeah. So one of the things that we say a lot at Cured is there's a couple pillars of health, and we really focus on those three things, and we keep things simple. Stress relief. Everybody loves Serenity. Everybody gets the stress relief that they're looking for from that. That's huge with supporting our overall life. And then obviously our sleep products do really well. But the other part of life is we all have pursuits, and we all are wanting to sit down and or go out in the world and build something with our lives. And that requires mental clarity, that requires energy, that requires focus. And we noticed a gap in the market, specifically when it came to gummies. And that's why we ended up creating this formula. Rise has been a staple in our product suite over the years, and everybody loves it. But now that we've seen how well Serenity has done, we took the idea of how we took that and understood that gummies were doing so well for us and that everybody loves Rise, and decided to combine the two. And we're really looking forward to seeing how this is received by the marketplace, because we see a gap here for sure.
Love that. And then who is this product for? You kind of started talking about that, but who is this for?
Anybody that needs mental clarity and energy. Honestly, one of the great things about this product, and this will be kind of the use case, is it's energy, but very convenient. When you think about coffee, you got to go make coffee, right? You think about an energy drink, you got to go to the store and buy an energy drink and carry it around. But with something that can pack a punch like Flow with energy and focus, but you can take it at any time, you can literally have it in your bag and you just eat a couple gummies. That's huge. So it's anybody that's busy, that wants energy on demand, and really anybody that's really looking forward to using more of the brain boosting effects than overall just stimulating effects. There's a lot of stimulating products out there in the market, but so many of them are overstimulating. You crash from them. So this is somebody that's looking for the focus and mental clarity, but not a lot of the negative side effects of some of the overstimulating things out there in the market, which a lot of energy drinks are as well. So it's a holistic take on energy and focus.
Awesome. And what are the use cases? I started talking about it a little bit. I know we'll absolutely be taking it on backpacking trips, like you just said, the convenience factor, but who else is it for? And what are those cases?
Yeah, I mean, you can use it in the morning for a mental boost, not go for your second cup of coffee or not go for a cup of coffee at all. You can use it midday. There is caffeine in it, but it's very low dose. So unlike drinking an energy drink or having a cup of coffee, it's not going to have as much caffeine. So you can use it for the midday energy slump. And then you can also use it for mood balance. What we've noticed is that it actually uplifts your mood. So you get the uplifting energy and focus effects, but also mood. And then I think there's going to be a lot of people using it for training, going out in the wilderness, hiking, backpacking, climbing, surfing, that, but then also going into the gym. A lot of people love a little bit of sugar. There's a very tiny amount of sugar in it, but a lot of people eat a little bit of sugar before working out. And I think it's going to be a great combination for working out any time of day. And honestly, I'm probably going to have it sitting on my desk. So,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Any time of day, just pop a gummy. We were in a meeting yesterday. I was like, I could use the flow gummy right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The entrepreneur too.
Yes. And I think the busy mom, like trying to balance and stay focused. So we're really excited for you guys to try it. Next question is also for Joe. Can you do a deep dive into the ingredients? Base, functionals, the caffeine?
Yeah. And T.O. Taylor will really contribute to this on how we got to this formulation and how it works from a manufacturability standpoint. But I'll just give a high level of the actual ingredients that we landed on, and then and Taylor can go over the rest of the development. But there's lion's mane in it. So everybody that is involved with Cured knows that we love mushrooms. Mm-hmm. So the lion mane mushroom, lion's mane, it's great for cognitive function, for memory, and it supports overall brain health and neuroplasticity. We also have ginkgo biloba, which is great for improving blood flow. And that really helps with overall mental clarity, cognitive performance, and memory as well. You could also use it for physical endurance and stamina. And then an ingredient that will also be familiar, which is in Rise. And Tio, did we have it in the drink?
We had it in the drink as well.
Yep. Yeah. So those of you that were around when we had Euphoria, we had Huperzine A in the Euphoria drink as well, but it's also in Rise. That's known for basically its nootropic properties. So it's great for memory and heightened mental clarity. It also helps increase acetylcholine levels, which is a neurotransmitter. And it's just great for overall memory, recall, and overall just mental performance. And then comes the caffeine source. So those 4 ingredients, the 4th is green coffee extract, and that's a natural antioxidant source, which also helps support brain function, regulate blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol. And it's just great for physical energy and an overall active life cycle. So 4 ingredients, 4 functional ingredients, which you'll notice that there's no cannabinoids in this product. So this is the first time that we went to market with a non-cannabinoid product. We had cannabinoids in Aura at one point, but then we took those away and changed the formula a little bit. So this will be our first coming to market without cannabinoids in it, no CBD, no THC, no CBN. So nothing that's going to show up on a drug test or anything to worry about when it comes to taking cannabinoids overall. So got the mushrooms, got the adaptogens, and then the natural caffeine source with the green coffee extract. So 4 functional ingredients, and we'll pass it to Tio. You can lead off with the questions, Hannah, but it took us some time to get to this formula. So Tio can dive into that.
Yeah, that's just more so on the ingredients too, as far as the base of the gummies. Like if you think about gummies and candy in general, there's typically a lot of trash ingredients. So things like artificial dyes, artificial flavors, and also gelatin, corn syrup. So the approach we're going for is just a totally natural and as organic as possible approach. So we're not using any artificial colors, any artificial flavors. The flavors we're using are actually organic. And then we use an organic tapioca syrup instead of corn syrup. And that also just has a decreased sugar load per amount comparatively. So we're trying to make just like a really clean product. We're not trying to just add functionals to candy, essentially. So,
which is a marketing strategy that a lot of companies take. It's like, this is a hot ingredient, and then throw it into a product that's actually not healthy for you.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, with the whole R&D process. So typically we meet with our herbalists. That started a couple years ago, and we say like, hey, these are the pain points that we want to hit. This is kind of what we're thinking. And then we kind of go on discovery and look at a bunch of different ingredients. She'll look at those and see how they interact together. because the goal is to create something that's really balanced. You don't want something that's going to make you jittery and sweaty, or something that's going to, make it too calm. So we wanted to have that perfect balance of energy and focus without any of those negative side effects, like jitters, or just that kind of like clammy feeling, I guess you can say, when you're overstimulated. So the R&D process, we work with our manufacturer and make small batches. Those all get sent out to the team. Everybody fills out surveys. We kind of recap and then just continue to iterate until we just make it better and better and better, until we get to a place where we feel like it's really dialed in. So for this, it definitely took us a while. And some of the difficulties with gummies, so part of it is, because this is not a pill that you're swallowing, taste is plays a huge factor in it. And a lot of these herbal ingredients, the more therapeutic they are, typically, the more dark and bitter tasting they are. So with that, it's definitely delicate. So we have to kind of pick and choose specific extracts to where we know that they're going to be effective, they're going to taste good. And that's part of the reason also why there's real sugar in there. We are using organic cane sugar. There is only 2 grams per gummy. But with that, the whole goal is like to have these palatable so that you are going to want to take them every day and they're going to be effective.
And I'd say the taste is the best.
Yeah. And
it's so good.
We nailed it.
Think about all the different samples that we've had, and some of them were just so hard to get down. So we feel really good with where we landed with these, and excited to launch these.
Mm-hmm.
And
can you talk about when it comes to the manufacturing process and the overall formulation, how hard it is to get enough functional ingredients into a gummy and still make it manufacturable, because that's the difference between, taking 5 capsules and having a bunch of, like, a lot more ingredients in it. So that was kind of like the push and pull with your whole formulation process.
Yeah, totally. So Rise, for example, it's a 3 capsule serving, probably around like 1,800 milligrams of powder. But with gummies, you're a lot more limited to how much functional powder you can essentially fit per dose. So with that kind of plays into our ingredient selection. So certain things like the caffeine and the huperzine, those really help boost those other ingredients and kind of set them off, I would say. It's definitely tricky trying to get it to pack a punch, while still being able to get a manufacturable product. Over the years, we've definitely learned a lot more about gummies and the complexity and the chemistry behind them and what it takes to get a gummy to set. Because there's things that change the pH and when you add them and how they have to be mixed in to get the gummy to set correctly. It's definitely way more complicated than I thought a few years ago, but I've definitely learned so much in the process, and excited to just bring it all together.
Yeah. And then what is the dosing and frequency?
So the dosing, it's a 2 gummy serving. But if you needed an extra boost, you definitely could take more than 2. There's nothing in there that's going to kill you. These are all very, very natural ingredients. And I would say the dose lasts probably 5 hours ish, I would say. So it's not something where, you're going to be like in bed at night, like wide awake. It's definitely something that tapers off. It's not something that's going to last like 12 hours or like an extended period of time. So you definitely can take multiple servings in a 24-hour period.
Love that. Thank you. And then we do have some questions that I feel like your audiences are going to get. So we want to answer those for you. So one being, what is the difference between Rise and this? And are our customers going to be able to still take Rise, or is this replacing?
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the main differences is that this does have caffeine in it. Rise does not.
Mhm.
There, when it comes to the effects of the two, they're very similar, but Rise and the herbal blend in Rise, we were able to pack more functional ingredients in it. So depending on the person, when it comes to overall herbalism, some people could potentially feel the effects of Rise more in the short term. But what we noticed is that this product is actually going to be something that could be you could essentially use both. And the reason being is that since one doesn't have caffeine and the other does, some people like to take non-caffeine products later in the day.
Yeah.
Now everybody's different. So the problem is that everybody's different. And so it's going to be different for everybody. Like I can take Rise at 4 or 5 p.m. and sleep fine. Other people can't. And so that's when it comes to understanding your body and how your body responds to herbs. Like our herbalist literally said this. She goes, yeah, Taylor has red hair. He's more fiery. Herbs affect him more. So it's different for everybody. So Rise will really affect TO, whereas Flow, maybe he doesn't feel the same effect, but I almost feel the same effect between the two.
I felt that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's what's really interesting is it's the answer that nobody likes. It depends on who you are and it's different for everybody. But the main difference is the caffeine source. And then obviously you're taking capsules with Rise, you're taking a gummy with Flow. In general, herbalists say that you should follow a 6-1 principle. And this is true for both products. And it's 6 weeks on, 1 week off. Or she even says you can do 6 days on, 1 day off, which kind of gives you the reset. So they're very similar when it comes to the overall effects of the herbs. And you can take them in the same day. I would not recommend the very first time you take Flow, taking it with Rise. It could very well be way too much. So it works. So just
yeah. And just like, for example, like I'm definitely sensitive to the stimulating ingredients in Rise and Flow. So I personally probably wouldn't take them together. And even when I take Rise, I only take 2 in a 3 capsule serving versus like Hannah, like you drink a lot of caffeine and are like not as sensitive to those things. So like you're a perfect person to be able to stack those and get like a really combined better effect.
I think it's also important to cover while we were going through the testing period as a company, there are a lot of people in the company that don't take caffeine and were able to take this. And Tio, you're one of them. Can you kind of go into that? Because I do know that some people, partners of ours and customers, like the fact that Rise doesn't have caffeine, but they're open to this because they're hoping that it doesn't give them that jitters. So can we kind of go into why that is?
Yeah. So with the caffeine, we didn't want that to be a primary ingredient necessarily, like kind of like leading the effect like an energy drink would be. So if you think about energy drinks or pre-workout, a lot of times they have like 300 milligrams of caffeine, and that's like the main kind of powerhouse ingredient. But from our perspective, the caffeine really helps boost the effectiveness of all the other ingredients versus like, so you're not necessarily going to feel the caffeine as like, oh, this is like a caffeine effect that I'm familiar with when I'm drinking an energy drink. It's not going to feel like that. But it is going to really just provide those other ingredients with a boost and make those feel a lot more effective.
Awesome.
So the goal is not to keep people awake. The goal was not to have people be overstimulated, but to create something that had a perfect balance.
Yeah. If you think about it, like, you know, some people will drink decaf later in the day. Decaf doesn't have 0 caffeine. It says decaffeinated, but that really means it has like 25 milligrams or less per cup. It could be less depending on the brew, but the quarter life of caffeine is 8 hours. So if you're taking this at say 2 p.m., by 10 p.m., you're going to have the effect of basically a decaf coffee. And that's not something that's going to keep you awake. So like Tio's saying, again, it's in there, but it's not at a dose that should turn you away thinking that this is going to affect me negatively the rest of the day.
Yeah. Also, we definitely were thinking about this when we made this, but a lot of times when things are overstimulating, they can cause more anxiety, and that's definitely was not the goal here. And just like we were saying with like what the use cases are for this, everybody has a ton of stuff going on, and anxiety and stress a lot of the times come from not taking action. So this is kind of like in a different way being able to reduce those, because you're going to take these and then be able to crush your to-do list and then later have the peace of mind and just feel good about it after.
That's $100 million marketing line right there, too.
I know.
Work on delivery, but
that was really good. It's true. Yeah. Like when you're not taking action, you look at life and you get disappointed in some way. And like, that's what we want people to do is we want people to take action. You're going to get stressed. So we also have stress support, and then you're going to need to sleep. So we're going to help you with your sleep too.
I love that. Okay. A few more questions. One of them being, can you take this while pregnant?
So for pregnant and breastfeeding, there's one ingredient in there, huperzine, which hasn't been studied for that. So we advise against taking it while pregnant. Right now, I know we don't really have many products that you can take while you're pregnant. So maybe in the future, that's something that will roll out. But right now, this is not something you should take while you're pregnant.
Yeah. And then why is this product THC and CBD free? Why are we going this route?
So one of the big things is we wanted to open it up to a bigger market, to anybody that might not feel comfortable taking CBD or THC products. Another reason too is like I like to think about CBD and THC as having the best use case as therapeutics, like for stress and sleep. Whereas this product, I more so think about it as like a performance product.
Yeah.
So while CBD might add a little bit to the effect to kind of take the edge off a little bit, we did design it so that it's so balanced to begin with that it's not necessary that we have that. So the greater goal is to be able to get it into more people's hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And all of our products, people ask this all the time, but everybody's always asking, like, can I take all of your products? And our whole philosophy is that we design products that can all be used together throughout your entire day. And so you get your shit done, and then you take your stress relief help with Serenity at the end of the day, and two completely different functions, like Tio was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we used to say, perform, balance, and recover.
Yeah. Yep. And then last question, unless you guys have any others that we want to add in, but is there plans to launch more CBD and THC free products in the future?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that we want to look into. We obviously want to see how this does. But typically just through the whole R&D process, first we start with like, okay, like what's our pain point? What problem are we trying to solve? So I think just as time goes on, that's really going to present itself for what we want to do next.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a possibility that we do that. There's also just potential to be able to sell the product in more places than primarily online. Just because if we don't have CBD and THC in a product, it really opens it up to kind of larger scale retailers.
Awesome.
Yeah. And one thing to just add to that is if you've been with us for a while, you've noticed that we've reduced our SKU count. So we've gotten rid of a lot of products. We've gotten a lot more focused on a few that do really well for us. So when it comes to running a company, we always watch what's the performance of the product, and then we make decisions from there. So we need to see it to be successful to continue to iterate.
I guess one final question is, when is this launching? And it's very soon, and it's going to be early January. So we are so excited to be bringing this product to you guys into the market, and we will have it available very soon. Any other last remarks?
I think I have to note that your husband trialed it while doing some crazy climbing, and I remember you gave some feedback from him, and it was exciting to hear. So from a performance standpoint,
we are just I mean, we both tried it. We've tried multiple of the iterations. All of the iterations, I will say, were so supportive, but this final one was like so good. And yes, he had one of the best climbing days. So if that isn't a testimonial, I don't know what is.
Yeah. I think we nailed it all. We appreciate all of you partners. Obviously, reach out to us with any questions you have, and let's make this a very successful product launch.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thanks, Anna. Thanks to you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Cool. Yeah, partners will